How did you spend most of your life? I would say I spent most of my life as an agnostic, I'm afraid. I think I always knew that there was something more to what was happening in my life. In the back of my mind, I always wanted to believe in Jesus and God and the love of God and Jesus, but something was stopping me, I guess. Something happened in June 2018. Can you share that with us? Well, something quite, I don't know if miraculous is the right word, but something miraculous for me happened in 2018. I drove up to my friend Pete's house and we went to an army reunion for an old unit we belonged to up in York, which, as you can imagine, was a great evening, seeing some of my old friends that I hadn't seen for many years. After the evening, drove back to Pete's place, to his family home, where he went ahead and told me that he'd found faith, that he had now become an active member of his church, and that it's changed his life completely, and he's a much happier person. And I kind of thought, well, hang on a minute, if my mate Pete, who was the last person I would have thought would be in that position, then maybe I need to give it a go. So my wife Rosalind had been going to Kerith for a while now, and said, you know, I need to come along. Tell us about your experience of Alpha. So after I'd attended Kerith for several weeks, I decided to go on an Alpha course. And I have to say, this was where it really kicked in for me. The Alpha course was just opened my eyes to a lot of things I've not even thought of before. The aspects of faith, Jesus, God, and some kind of awkward questions that were being asked. I'm a big fan of music. I love music, and an artist that I really like is hardly ever played on the radio, and one of the songs is quite apt as far as faith is concerned, which I didn't really put two and two together at the time, before my Alpha course, of course. And I was in the car driving home from Alpha. I put the radio on and picked a completely random radio station, and it was playing that song, and the words of that song are just so apt to everything that faith is, I feel. And I sort of drove home thinking, well, that's a strange coincidence, because they never play that song on the radio. In bed that same evening, after my Alpha course, I was just lying in bed, and I had an overwhelming feeling, an almost physical feeling, a feeling of lightness came over me. It was surreal and almost frightening, I'd say, but it was just the best moment I can imagine. It was that moment, I think, was the moment where it's almost like I was being kind of invited by God. You know, this is your time, Alan. This is your time now to step away from the old you and become the new you. And that feeling is still kind of with me. It's still there. Not quite so intense, because obviously that was the moment, but I still get that now, and it's just great. What has life been like for you since? Well, that's a big question. I think what hasn't happened, it's just been a wonderful time for me since I found faith. I have to say, I've become a much happier person. Things that were important to me are really not important anymore. I know that now. Everything's just much lighter. I feel a happier person. Because of Kerith, I've joined the worship band. I play guitar. That's a wonderful thing. I love doing that. And all my friends at Kerith have just been wonderful people. No agendas other than just to teach me the love of Jesus and the love of God. It's brilliant. I love it, and I recommend it.